好，一样，我先确认一下直播状态哈，稍等一下，看一下。好，应该没问题，没问题，我们继续游戏。这感觉是游戏好像快破关了，好像啊，哦。至少应该很接近一个阶段了，不知道是不是到这里就结束了，不确定。那这个结束之后，我虽然会找个机会再重玩这个极乐迪斯可，但是不会是立刻哦，我会改玩别的，我会去玩那个另一款那个3D 的冒险游戏，然后再看看之后看。就之前玩那个超凡双生，还有那个底特律变人那个系列，我会先做一个完结，之后再那些都玩过几遍之后，之后再来玩极乐迪斯可，再重新再玩极乐迪斯可。如果真的这个今天这感觉起来，如果这样的话，今天是可以破关的，不确定啊。我们还是看一看，因为我也没看过攻略什么的，不知道后面还有多长啊，剧情怎么发展，我们先看一下。
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed. You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead. Yes, anytime. If you need a rest later, it's okay by me. Someone's made themselves a home. Ooh, Sia. I agree. Humanitarian sciences. It stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West. Well, yes. That one student did. Whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
抽烟是扣血量哦，因为我这个角色血量是比较少的，这对我来说不太有利。
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable. Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open? I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Getting the blast door open seems like the best plan. It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. I don't know. I'm not a philosopher. Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy. Downstairs, somewhere? Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter. Long and cold. That should do it. Fuel, generator, console. That's our best chance. That there could open it now that the power's on. Another part of the island, probably. The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out, they terminate here. I think, yes. Let's see. That one, the emergency open. After you. Don't worry. I have a gun. I know. It was not easy to acquire. I don't know. B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from. I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot. What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window? I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. Good. I think we have it, detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest. Why? We don't go everywhere in a 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure. Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk. We will make up for it. Here. I feel it. Where? We should move now. B triple prime.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank. And what rank would that be, dog? A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the Pederast Army. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
No one said it has to be a Burma grave. We were just guessing. It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does. The right type and the right calibre. I wonder how old it is.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties. No. I've been on other islands, too. I was an Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Like 43 years and 10 months. It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting. Always waiting. For her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution. Women are more susceptible to bourgeois morals. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try. whatever I do.
Yes, what? To get things going again? Fan the...
There is no flame to fan. There is nothing left of the world, of our dreams. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And you could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took for reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And this was... when?
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic. The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room. No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring. Aerostatics. The landing had started. I climbed out into hell. There were ships all above, hissing, whirling, and men pouring out. The chain was submerged, so I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality. The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois are not human. I had to fight it. I had to never stop. It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. You don't know. You haven't seen it. Iblis. The black-eyed angel. How does anyone survive? I steal. You're insane and grotesque. Everyone steals. Vegetables, supplies. It's the life of a dog.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stew, too.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund. I have been running out of that stuff. It's the little joys. A dark joke. A sunshiny day. Morphine. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on, more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting. It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsoff coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I do. They're good. Plenty of talk. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century. I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals. So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right? I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however. The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground. You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol, a so-called Lieutenant W. Freighter. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans ce land. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a night philosopher of the revolution, a future human. No, the opposite of that. A future human, not a human of the past. No, you're not. You're part of the meat shield. The human shield that surrounds the fascists while they kill and rape. That's what you are.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over. I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer. What did I just say? The who now? Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime. Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some
Show me the souls, please, Mr. Dros.
fucking imbecile.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck. Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away. They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it. The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may. Classier. With the victim. I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies.
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part. Forget about your stupid fucking scope. I don't know where it is. Find it yourself. It's your problem now. Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that, jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? 4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it. Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder. You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood. Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds. Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol. I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him? Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like it?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique. Three weeks ago, when the rich hag came in on her galley, her honor guard came in tow. Wrinkled up whore. Lacks sexual morals or a bourgeois ploy. As to pederasty, the party legalized it in 2004. My party, not your liberal masters. So don't you sermonize me, you racist shithole. It's still bourgeois when the bourgeois does it, fiddling with their sexual organs. They moved into a deserted apartment above the roundabout. Radio equipment out for all to see. Reactionary radio playing, sloppy and drunk. I've seen their kind during the landing. Those Occidental and masked phalanx weren't conscripts. Boys like us. They were whites. All they know is to destroy and hurt. Barely alive. They like to kill while they're on their drugs. After the landing, in the burning years, I would take shots at them. End them. The worst ones, if I had a bullet to spare. I could see they've returned now to show their real face. The face they don't dare show their bourgeois voters back on Monday with their families and polyester clothes. Them fucking. I didn't like that. Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself, drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But You can't have everything. Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Fell building on the coast? What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared. That, too.
How could you see what she looked like? You said it was dark.
The sun came up. Her hair was like cobwebs. She smoked more fags and snorted a line of whatever shit she was on right there. She needed it just to move. Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut. After she was gone.
Did you keep the documents in it?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. Oh, I mean, in the water, behind the campsite there. I don't remember precisely. It was in the winter. It was cold out. I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio. You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur. Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife. Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny. Yes, that, too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny, the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope. She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her. No one gives a shit what you think. You and your cronies kill 10 working-class men a day. I've heard the statistics on Channel 8. There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough. Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes. The day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. What do you mean, put? Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you. If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you. Her. Where is she, that Classier? I haven't seen her there for days. Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers. Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez, Martinez is the worst. Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins, too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Quayamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt, Frisell, is now dead. We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores. Every fucking morning for 34 years, throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A petanque maniac race traitor. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one. Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me. Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, René. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood. No. I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it. And I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust. All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, God damn this world. Fuck you. You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked. I don't even care about those whores anymore. Get it over with. Take me in. I don't want to talk about goddamn social democrats. Traitors is all they are. Brain dead. Glad we talked about what? No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
You said you take painkillers.
I take them to cope with pain. The people of this city use painkillers because they have pain. Untreated illnesses. Not enough money for a greedy doctor. Like some kind of decadent rock star. No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people. glad we talked about what? I ain't going anywhere.
是不能再回岸上了。我突然想到。
No, an upside-down star. Insul Indian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army, the black and white army of the revolution. It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals. Now, that's the uninhabited archipelago. After 44 years, that's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel. Yes? I have. Is that why we're stopping? Are you sure? There are things we still need to do here.
不能回去，没关系，先去把他抓起来。
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here, but... You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this... What are you talking about? There's nothing there. Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it. Be very, very careful. It is. We need a photo. No one will believe us. I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture. Shh. Okay. Maybe it is real, the pheromone. It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species. Okay. In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I got it. Be careful, detective. It's moving. It's gone. Apparently, yes, like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go. See.
Mr. Doras? He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Doras? Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the Phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you? That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross. He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse. It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall. Like a drug? His pupils appear to be dilated. They still are. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo. If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the Phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
I lost...
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a Magpie Phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot? We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here.
我先喝个水休息一下哦，待会再继续。
The offer still stands. Take it. You don't look so good. The offer still stands. Take it. You don't look so good.
Hey. I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry? Wow, see? A new species. I told you, good things can still happen. Exactly. Now. I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to... I'm going to Morova, to live there in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime. Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality. Oh, this is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity. Anyway. No, Harry. It's just regular skin. I'm not as beautiful as you always thought I was. Let's not get into. No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really, we don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us, our love, our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. That's not what figurines do, Harry. I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. I would have liked the Headless Fallen Rider back then. Yes, okay. I'm glad. It doesn't sound like you're better at all, Harry. It doesn't even sound like you're a moralist. It just sounds like you want to win me back or something. I don't want you to try that anymore, okay? It's too sad. I need to go. It's not, but I don't know why I said but. There is no but. That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again. See? It just takes some time. For you, I think it'll take something like 20 years, maybe. It was hard for me, too. I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can. Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew. Yes, but that time is gone now. So very gone. It's okay. No, Harry, we can't. We already tried again, and it didn't work. Yes, of course. You've got everything under control, and I'm hysterical because I don't want to keep hurting you. I don't know. Please. Harry, we can't be together because you're insane. No, I'm just Dora. Why did you do that to yourself? You know I don't cheat, Harry. I never cheated on you. No, Harry, not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant. Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck. Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something else. You know what I mean. A cop. You've worked there for so long you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. Questions. This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now. It's not just the lists or trees or whatever. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stay down for too long. Until you start giving your thoughts names and talking to things. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day. Wasn't I Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? You're confusing me. Look, I have to be at the Lausanne Aerodrome at 10:20 p.m. I still have a light rail to catch. I haven't even bought the tickets yet. My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait. It's impolite. I don't understand. Oh my God, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the mourning someone who's still alive, any of that.
不过它设计很好笑，而且其实很有讽刺意味啊。他前面不是讲说你讲话都像一个条列式，然后你还可以回答他说那个不是条列式，那是对话术。他就说那个 NPC 就说对啊，谁讲话会用对话术？这不是在讽刺那个 RPG 的那个设计模式吗？其实这游戏里面很多内容都有这种都有这种调侃和讽刺的意味在。这边不是讲说你每一个那个技能啊，都会跟你说话，因为这个游戏的设计就是你的技能会跟你自己说话。他说你是不是疯掉了？你会幻想自己脑中的技能在跟你自己说话。
I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are not supposed to mourn. You don't have to hate the world. Can't you see how kind and beautiful everything is? I don't have time to deal with your pessimism. There are so many people at the stop at this hour. They're all going to the aerodrome. It wasn't a fight. I was never fighting you. Let's stop it with the apes. This isn't going anywhere. Yes, Harry, I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I am the ruler of the known world. Oh God, it's already so late. I have to go, Harry. We both said a lot of things. We were very young. As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters. Please, Harry, I just don't have time for this. Okay, stop. Yes. Are you happy now? Then why are you doing this? Very well. I wrote it. It was morning. You slept. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left, on Voyager Road. It was autumn. The first autumn. But Harry, please understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I'm no longer that person. This has taken her place. It will devour you. Harry, I will eat your mind. The coolest, with your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants, smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first kiss, my first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love. I will always have that with me, it's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore. Yes, let's talk about that too. Let's bring it up, the zoo. In Le Jardin, the day we went east of the river, to the aquarium first, I was sad about my mother. I don't even know why. The shimmer of the fish tank on my face, the octopuses. It was just a day then, but to think, were we there now, you could touch my hair, kiss me, Talk to me about anything. Go virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. Now our interactions are limited to pain and regret. And my crown of immortality? No. You scared her out of me. With your crying, the awful time we wound up having. And the cheap rental flats you could afford. Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people. Yes, I have found someone for whom I can feel the same. A copy of my love for you, only this time he is careful and rich. He will not lose me. It will go somewhere, it will grow. Harry, do you notice how none of this is very funny? You know what I meant. We're talking about it again. It came up again. This conversation is about that again. It's here, Harry. We are on Voyager Road. At the end of it, 300 meters from the stop. We used to come here to rent videos. There. You could not pay the electrical bill. It became a lightless tomb. The years you spent training for the militia, my parents' money, it was not good. Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, then you should let me go to the aerodrome. I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. I'm gonna go now. That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight. Yes. I won't see you, but you will see me. Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago? Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time. So long ago. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? Okay. Let's. We are done here.
Look what the tide brought him. I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot. That's right. And you're some kind of murder machine. We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you. Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton. Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on, it's hard to tell.
Vic, calm down.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Kemar, and this is your special task
这
force.
破关之后我还会再
What's
玩
left of it?，
不过不是立刻哦，我会改玩另外一款游戏。这个之后的话，我会再重玩。
Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you after pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later. But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among
暴
yourselves.
雨啊，那个 Heavy Rain 啊，我前一段时间在玩那个底特律变人嘛，还有那个超凡双生，都是那家公司出的那个冒险游戏啊。
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi. Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else
其
entirely.
实也还好，就字
I
很多
engage
啦。
in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Yes, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I never said I wasn't Trent Heilerstein. Mikhail? Mikhail is my son. No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence.
这个游戏本来就是那么多话啊，从前面就应该很习惯这个，不会做到后面不习惯。
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on. The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. Speaking of which,
The giant aerografito in front of the building. The one that's burning. Did you do that? I knew it. Didn't I tell you, Trant? I told you it was our shit, kid.
The line is from Lu Jiatun's Mirova 82, isn't it? About girl-child communism, the titular returning character to ghost the apparition of... Good choice, Harry.
Don't encourage him, Trant.
Okay.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on. Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
于是，其实命案只是主线的一部分，那个主角的那个个人本身是另外一个部分，所以等于就是整个故事不同的面向啦。你不能说没有这一部分解释啊，你光听那个老兵那个，他也只能跟你解释命案的部分了。
Lieutenant, my name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends. Okay, because you're my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship.
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity training. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Yes, I'm still Kim Kisuragi, still a lieutenant from Precinct 57.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Heidelstown, and Guillaume baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay. Do? It's a Major Crimes Unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die. You were crying hysterically. You were drunk, breaking things, being emotionally abusive. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage, Detective God. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic. As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically? Not when you phrase it like that, but I don't think critical theory. I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here.
What? He lost his memory because of capitalism?
No, not like that. I'm not talking Vredefort school here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
Son of fucking Long here. Detective far out son of Long on the case.
It's an urban myth. A police detective who employs highly experimental investigative techniques. It's a cultural reference detective.
He has indeed had the possibility before. I have trouble believing him, of course, but he seems to want to convince himself of it. And I've seen him work. His methods are unorthodox.
With all due respect, Lieutenant, you're bewitched by the shit, kid. It happens. What doesn't happen is a cop wiping his own memory to solve a case. In fact, it's not possible to wipe one's memory at all, even with the amount of pot and Pilsner he downs every hour. He's simply lying, or insane, or both.
Detective Vigmer, I'm not saying he's the son of Lung, but lying? I mean, he has blacked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for its end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension? Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. No, now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Yes, in the ocean, under the sea. Our work vehicle, with fishing clams and other sea shit. Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. Tequila sunset. Not sunrise because you're almost dead. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna pay till I die. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. The thing that tells people you're a police officer. We're not armor cops. We're cops. People don't know us by our armor. They know us by our badges. You called in and said you lost yours. Have you found it? And your gun? I don't care about your collection, you hoarding freak. Is one of them your service weapon? I only want to know about that one gun. He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. You were never supposed to lose it in the first place. Not lost is your gun's natural state, you drunk bum. Who are you posing for, huh? A suspect escaped, Harry. Classy as something, because you were too high to assess our flight risk.
We've read the reports. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Well, if she was specially trained, I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, the one who shot herself in the head. Or the fact that you're Everett Claire's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot and survived only because of his armor. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Don't make this harder for yourself.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job. Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd. Other still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know. But he is vocal about both.
玩这个游戏，如果你从头到尾都不嗑药，或是喝酒的话，那有一那也是蛮厉害的，因为那个可以增加你的那个检定值啊。
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course. Amphetamine, mostly. But despite all this, he is a great detective. one of the best I have seen.
也是这个游戏非常有趣的一点，他把这一件事情放得很大，但你仔细想想，你在别的游戏里面吃什么强化药，吃什么能够帮你强化加 buff 的东西不多的不得了，对不对？不会，我酒已经喝得很少了，好不好？我嗑药嗑的比较多，酒是加力量的嘛，其实我不太常喝。
He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and
你仔细
tangential.
想想，你玩了那么多游戏里面，所有能增加你能力的那些东西，不都是毒品吗？对不对？怎么可能有什么东西吃了，然后立刻会变强壮，会变聪明？那个，如果你投射在现实世界里面，那个都是毒品啊。那只有毒品效果才会那么快啊，对不对？
Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vikmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid. As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
Detective? The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence, exhibiting a strange, atypical
但也是
dimension.
蛮有
He
趣
fell
的，他
into
把那
his
个
stupor after its
那个
appearance.
神秘动物的
He became
支线
near
跟
catatonic.
整个主线还这样子结合在一起，也是蛮疯狂的写作。
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
整个剧情内容什么之类的，真的那个感觉起来，真正嗑药和喝的比较多的是这个游戏剧本的作者啊，因为要怎么样才能写出这种东西来，这个实在是很难让人想象。
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female, and the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it
就
was
是
a
说，其实
male.
嗑的比较多的，我
This is
怀疑
far
是
from
那个
anything in my
作者。
field, but I think
这个
such
这
nests
种剧
are
本真的
called
真的
bowers.
不是
Therefore
真的
attracting
不是那个不喝高一点或是嗑多一点写得出来的东西啊，应该要去查一下。
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs. As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation. Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it, what was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church. That's great. Anthroponaut is a great new career for you. After police officer. I don't care. Go live in the Pale.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there. It's okay.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Why? That's not what you were supposed to do here.
There was a fridge we needed and a possible witness. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper. It was okay.
Of course. Call it community outreach, right?
Who's Kuno?
You don't want to know.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian, his Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
Possibly induced. But even without that, these men spent 50 years on the islands in the bay, in solitude, loathing what Revachol has become. There's plenty for prosecution to pick from in terms of motive. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Get over yourself. You're not a perfectionist. You're a cop and you did a good job, with a lot of help from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. And none of this can hide the smell of booze on the wind. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude.
Honestly, anything that ends this trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go. Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
No, a regular one.
You haven't told us about that. You just told us about being a gym teacher.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is. Of course. Contact Mike.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy. Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
It is getting cold out.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
对啊，主角是个体育老师，因为主角到处跑，一直跑，一直跑。
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk. Yeah, Dora England, I think. Something like that. Half Vazan. No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time. Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one. Incredibly bangable. She was extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically. I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees order. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that. No. You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage. God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up. Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who is Lena?
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change. Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
你玩游戏给你的启示是你要尽量多喝酒、多嗑药，这样子你那个检定才会过关呐、你的属性才会够高嘛。喝酒、抽烟、嗑药，在这个游戏一样都没有缺啊。 等这个跑完之后，我就会先结束直播，然后待会玩那个 Heavy Rail。中文叫什么？叫暴雨杀机吧，还是叫暴雨？看这个快跑完了吧？不知道他要跑多久，因为每款游戏跑的时间不一样，应该不会超过10分钟吧。跑完之后就先休息一下，可能这样子大概6点的时候再玩一下这样子。反正一般我玩游戏没有特别需求的话，我都会等它这个跑完。刚刚稍微算了一下，我这个破关大概花了40个小时。因为他那个对话的时候，我都是等他那个语音讲完，我才会按下句对话。单纯如果只是看的话，就是单纯看那个没有要把语音听完的话，会更快一点。其实游戏不算非常长，是长的游戏啦。以一般游戏的体量来说的话，就大概在30到40个小时。确实是要慢慢写，不然的话，写着那个作家可能会自己先进那个精神病院。要期待有续作或是类似风格的作品的话，其实也是蛮困难的这种东西，不会很常见。这个文字量那么大的游戏，其实我唯一能够想到的只有那个《异域镇魂曲》还算比较接近。不然你说其他的游戏，就算现在大部分的 CRPG， 其实那个文字量内容很多，但不代表它文字量很大。而且那些 CRPG 像是 Pathfinder 啊，或是那个 Original Sin、Divinity Original Sin 啊，那些他们大部分有一半的时间，所以可以比较一下嘛。因为这个游戏为什么只用了这些时间？它没有战斗啊，这个游戏完全没有战斗嘛。 那别的 RPG 有战斗，所以其实战斗内容在 RPG 里面花了很多时间。那这个游戏你就把它当成是只有剧情的 RPG 啊。一个游戏只有剧情的话，其实这样子浓缩起来40个小时其实非常多了啦。你其他游戏如果扣掉他们的战斗，也没有那么长的游戏时数。很多游戏那个游戏时数长是其他的部分，不是它剧情长。这个游戏确实剧情的量是非常非常非常多的。好，这个先直播到这边了啊。对啊，它的战斗就是对话，那种判定的嘛，就是不止战斗对话，它的整个游戏的核心机制就是对话嘛。好，那个我休息一下，晚一点再继续玩啊。这边就先结束直播了啊，先结束直播了，拜拜啦。